Hello, everyone. On today's IRS Tax Refund update, we'll recap the latest developments with those ongoing tax refund delays, including those tax topic numbers and tax transcript codes that are being encountered by a number of our viewers. We'll also take a look at some of those notices the IRS continues to send out and what to do if you end up receiving one in regards to your refund delay. We'll then look at some of the options available for help with those overdue refunds for those not getting assistance by calling the IRS. Now, recapping where things stand, is there are still 3 million tax returns that remain unprocessed by the IRS, which are made up of returns filed this year and last year and include both e-file and paper returns. There are another 1.3 million unprocessed amended returns remaining, which were filed this year and last year, along with 71,000 unprocessed employer returns and 374,000 amended employer returns. So, when added up together, nearly 5 million unprocessed returns remaining, as well as thousands of unwritten documents by the IRS. Now, for those who e-filed their return during the tax season, received confirmation their tax return was accepted, and are still waiting on that refund, there's a high probability at this point the IRS computer system has flagged your return for further action, rather than your return simply needing regular processing, which is the case with most still waiting on their paper tax returns at this point. We're seeing tax returns being sent to the IRS department, and even a simple mistake could lead to a 4 to 6 month delay as a result. For those who have checked their tax returns and found zero errors, then you're likely to fall into one of the three following categories, starting out with the IRS has yet to process your employer's wage information, and if you're part of this group, you're likely to receive one, if not multiple copies of the notice seen here, which indicates the IRS is waiting for your tax account information to be available on their computer system and that they need an additional 60 days. Now, this is a notice many of our viewers have and are currently receiving. In this particular case, your options are very limited as the IRS does not need further information from you. It could be the IRS has simply not processed your employer's wage information, or the employer has not submitted their tax returns, which unfortunately is a reported problem. However, the IRS is known after certain periods of time to ask the taxpayer to submit a copy of the W-2 and year-end pay stubs so that they can go ahead and finish the processing of the tax return. So do have that information available if you're part of this impacted group ready to go. The second category e-filers who have been waiting for long periods of time fall into is the need to complete ID verification. Processing of your tax return will remain frozen until this is in fact completed, and there are two steps. Impacted taxpayers should receive one of several different versions of the ID verification notice, like the 5071C letter seen here. In most cases, you can complete the ID verification process online, but do not forget the second part, which is verifying your tax return also. Both steps must be completed before the processing can continue. Now, unfortunately, not all impacted taxpayers in this group will receive this notice, whether the IRS has an old mailing address on file or simply it was not sent out. This happened in many cases last year, and it took months before the taxpayer was aware of this as the cause of holding up their refund. Also, it should be noted if you receive letters 4883C or 6330C, you cannot complete ID verification online and must contact the IRS for further steps, which may be verifying your identity in person. And the third category you may fall under is your tax return is under audit. Now, if you've been waiting months and claim the earned income tax credit in particular, there's a good chance you're part of this impacted group. Expect to see the CP75 notice in the mail if you're impacted by this, and please submit any documentation to the IRS immediately. If you fail, you will not qualify for the credit being claimed and will not receive it. Thousands last year failed to respond to the notice and lost out on the credit as a result. Also, we're still getting questions about tax topic codes appearing on those refund status results. Now, as we stated before, 152 is a normal processing code and is no cause for alarm. Code 151 does indicate there's an issue with your return, which will likely result in a refund adjustment. If you see the 151 code appear, make sure to access your tax transcripts, in which case you'll likely see a 570 and 971 code appear as seen here. If those codes have the same date like seen here, that means the IRS has autocorrected the issue and no further action is necessary. Now, while the IRS has greatly improved the phone answer rate as compared to the last 2 years, the matter of actually getting a resolution to your problem resolved is a completely different story. For those who are still experiencing issues, it is advised for you to reach out to the Taxpayer Advocate Service and request to open up a case in regards to your problem. The TAS has helped many of our viewers out both this year and last year in getting a resolution and ultimately their refund. To get in touch with them, simply Google IRS Tax Advocate Service for further information. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax refund issue and how and when you filed your tax return. In the meantime, we'll keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.